There we go. Looking like I got one person on here. I was actually going ahead and I was trying and failing miserably to go ahead and try to promote it. I am running slightly late today at my normal routine because I had issues sleeping last night. And I kept putting my alarm on snooze, and snooze 1 turned into snooze like 10, and then suddenly I was like, well, I got 15 minutes to get up and get moving. So here we are. That said, I might take a second or two to not only while I'm prepping my coffee here, but also make a post or two on my phone. And my friend will actually be here again. That's fantastic. Give me 1 second. Because she's just wanting to make sure that the door access code will be active. I need to make sure that that stuff is off cam. Give me a second. That's in like one of like 17 different chats. Christ. Anyways, so there's actually a lot of things that I ended up doing while off screen. One of the things that I ended up getting done was going through and cleaning up the desk a little bit, which you guys will see in a second. The stitching horse that I used, modified it so that I have a bolt here to grab, not the finger turn, which actually was a pain for me to use before. The reason why this additional hole here was because I was trying to do something else first, didn't work, ended up fixing that. And then the other thing that I did is, because there's a bolt there, I actually have a dedicated tool here now that I could just go ahead and rather than beat up on my fingers trying to turn that closed or anything, I could just use this tool and make my life a hell of a ton easier. And also, I should probably trim it, I put 2 little pieces of leather on the inside there. That's meant to actually protect whatever piece is in there, so it's not marking it up while I'm actually stitching it. So I'm going to set that over and out of the way, and as you saw, I actually have headsets in, so I can actually hear the audio that is actually playing on your guys' end as well. So I can actually hear what you guys are listening to rather than being in dead silence. And additionally, got myself a wireless mouse and keyboard so I could just stay up at the desk. So I could stay up at the desk and I can actually continue to interact with you guys. And just gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna shift that out of the way. Glorious dirty bean juice. shift that down. And I might mess with the camera angle for the next time around and not be late as well. Give me 1 second. You know what? I need to check this real quick. Twitch. Because there's no easy click here to share type thing. So I'm having to do this like freehand. And it is not easy in the slightest. Oh my god, that was it. I gambled. I gambled and got it right. Hell yes. So yes, I have the keyboard here. And additionally, there's this camera here, but you see the other camera that is actually, if I can get my orientation right over here. The reason why that is there is because I ended up setting myself up a second camera, and now you can actually have the wide view of everything. And I can actually adjust position and angle and zoom as well. So you guys can actually see everything else that's actually behind me. You can actually see some of the mannequin stands that I actually used back in the day when I tried doing this as a business attempt. And after doing that, you know, obviously I kept them because I could still actually use them for modeling the stuff that I ended up making, using them as a dummy, like to fit things. So it ended up working out really well. But we actually got ourselves a leather belt here that we need to fix. But that said, with where we're sitting at right now, what I do end up needing to do, and there's, see, I'm just seeing that there's one person over there, right over in the chat right now, and also needing to kind of keep an eye on the phone to see if my friend, God forbid, she has troubles. But we got that set. I've got a chat log. I can see everything you guys are doing and saying, and it'll be one grand time. Because apparently my mouse doesn't like, doesn't like the surface that was over there. But yes, thank you to the latest follower Rivorian. I know it's going to be a while for me to shift and adjust over here onto Twitch. So it'll be a bit tricky to get that follower base back and moved over here. After enough time, I'll actually be able to have you guys have channel points so that you guys can actually go ahead and send messages and interact with me. So eventually things will get easier and better. But all in due time. There we go. Life's a little bit easier now. Just went ahead and I was sending a message out to a couple of chats. Because there's been a lot of people that wanted to watch me work. And yes, this is me, you know, obviously I'm sending these messages out and everything. But with all that said, I'm going to be going a little bit long today because Alkali and Zanny are actually, unfortunately, not doing their Sunday stream because they're over doing Basement Con. At least that's last I checked. If for whatever reason they do start, I will go ahead and I will continue going later than usual by about 30 minutes just to play fair. Damn it. Okay. Still like playing catch up on so much stuff. I am so sorry, everyone. I still even need my third bean juice. And I didn't even take my medications this morning, so we're doing one hell of a start. And yes, put sugar in my coffee. Fight me. Back door's locked out. Man. But the other reason why I got the camera there for the wide view is, again, so you guys can kind of see the whole thing. There's a lot of things that are kind of like in shot and out of shot and everything. I need to clean it up a little bit more. It's a hell of a ton better than what it was. And I can actually zoom and I'll show you guys the setup that I got here. Let's see. Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh, that's all I can zoom? I'll take the win where I can. You can see the actual case here that I've got. I got myself new hammers as well for that, so it looks a lot better, but they'll actually perform a bit better because of the type and style that they are. And that's all organized. There's a lot that I ended up doing, but we got stuff to do. So let me go ahead and reset that. Zoom in more. Fix that. And that's going to go away for a second so that I can have a thing of coffee. Or at least that I can go ahead and have my first sip of coffee. And still honoring the fact that, okay, no, friend is not going to be visiting. She's just dropping the items off, some items off, so we'll actually take a peek at that. I'll take a peek at that as well. Oh, I needed that coffee. Now I'm back. So, I'm going to might shift that down. So the leather belt that we got here, the edges themselves that you can see, we're going to see if we can get the camera to actually see them, but they're a little on the rougher side. So you can see that showing up there. It's got a lot of patina, a lot of wear and tear. The snaps themselves are still hitting okay, snapping well, so we don't really need to change those. Really, it's just the edging on this that I'm really, more worried about. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to touch up on that edging. Now, there's a couple tools that can be done for it. I've tried them all, and honestly, as much as I'd like an easier one or an easier version, this is the one that I use. There's these three. They're all doing the same thing. They're all slickers. That's what they call. There's this plastic one here. What I've actually done with this before is I've actually gone ahead and thrown this inside a drill bit. Thrown it in a drill because of the nut here is small enough. Then I'll just use the power of the drill with the rotation and then moving it along to go ahead and actually make that process easier. That does not work as well as I had hoped. Then there's a wooden end and a hell of a lot smaller. I'll actually use this, try and block so that the camera will focus. I'll actually use this one in a Dremel. Let's actually do the same thing. This one's not terrible, but what I end up liking the most is this one by hand. Don't know why, it works the best by hand. All they do is that they have a bunch of different size grooves for different gauges of leather for it to fit in there, and what it is that it's a bit of friction, and the heat goes ahead and causes the chemical compound that I put on there to go ahead and give it a nice slick edge. Sorry, I'm just checking up on one thing real quick. Yes, okay. Sorry. Put it on that hair too tight. That's a lot easier. Okay, so things, stuff, belts, leather. So the chemical compound that we end up using is called tragacanth. I usually screw that up on intentionally and just say preganinant because fucking YouTube shit posting. But I don't really need a whole ton on this. And what I'll do is I'll use a small bit on this one end here, and then you'll actually see how it improves once I slick it. You only need a small amount to actually go onto the edge itself. And a little bit goes a long way. Now I'm gonna adjust the camera real quick, so there's gonna be a lot of background noise. Sorry. Now you guys get to see that armature actually in frame and see how it's set up. So cool. So you can already see kind of, hopefully, how it's kind of looking slick a little bit, but that's just the chemical itself. That's on there. And what I'm doing is I'm checking and seeing if it's still wet or slick. Not feeling any of that, because you want it to be somewhat dry, and then that is when you actually do this. I'm having to use my hand here because I'm using that to actually brace the leather. I don't know if it can actually pick it up on the microphone, so I'm just going to shift it, so hopefully it will pick it up. But if you can hear that little like pop noise in there, that's why I'm shifting from one direction to the other. Meaning it's gone from like an actual like slickness from being wet to a slickness because that wetness is starting to turn into a stick. It's becoming a bit sticky. That stickiness after a while will turn hard. That is how you get a nice, shiny, slick edge. Now there's a couple of professional tools that you can get from various suppliers that are like on like machines. And at least what I've found is that doing it by hand from the variations that I've tried, using either, where the hell I put them, using these two drill Dremel ends, or using the hand method. So far across those that I've used, this hand method is the best every time. Every time that I've had to use it, at least. And you don't want to go too big of one, because what happens is you'll actually push down on this as a result of you trying to do this. It'll actually cause the mushroom to like, or sorry, it'll cause the leather to like mushroom out. It doesn't look as good. So yeah, a little bit more. I'm taking a peek at the chat periodically to see if anyone has a question. Now, another thing that I want to say real quick, I thought holding it would make it easier. Another thing that I want to say real quick while I'm still sitting here and just working on this is if anyone has a question, please by all means submit it in the chat. I'll happily explain things further, I'll show you things on the toolbox there. Tell you a story, explain some of the stuff about the items that I got behind me, because I've got the Halloween mask actually. Of course, it's just out of frame right now. Got the Halloween mask hanging out up there. That was something that I ended up doing as well. It's not out right now. I'll have to have that out next stream. But there's a everyday carry bag that I use, literally every day, that carries everything that I need. It carries everything that I need, because I have a multi-tool in there. I have it carry my wallet, some business cards for work-related stuff. Yeah, it's looking a lot better. So this was the previous end that was on there. And you can kind of hopefully see that it's a little on the rougher end. Like, just trying to get it to focus. Yeah, focus on my hand camera. Do that for me. Yeah, so it's not looking somewhat rough. Not the best. I wonder if it might be that light. I was wondering if it might be the glare. No shaky. So, yeah, right there is pretty good. So you can see how it's kind of rough along the edges here. This is the side that's slicked up. Got a nice shine on the one side. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep at it. It's not pressure that does the job, it's friction. Oh, kind of friction. It's more so the speed and the heat than it is the pressure itself. Of course, the belt's going to be bouncing around, so it's going to give you guys some fun noises to mess around with. And for anyone that is watching this right now, for whatever reason you have to dip out, this is actually also being recorded in the background on my stream program. So if you have to leave, this will be uploaded to YouTube. So YouTube is going to be my video archive of all Twitch streams as well. And then I will have to go ahead and make a new opening promotional video or whatever for YouTube, so that anyone that comes and visits or sees my stuff, they will be able to know that I have moved. Come on. Yeah, I'm liking how that's turning out so far. Really gives your arm a workout. Is I actually just barely heard that on my desktop audio. Oh my god, hi. And yes, that is the that is the audio that I chose for the follow noise. Because I am not above jokes. Thank you. There we go. Sorry, I had to mess with my audio real quick so I can hear it. There we go. Alright. Back to where we were at. But yes. Thank you, Nisbet, for the follow. Giving me another follower to slowly start making the migration over here. Hopefully your friend is doing okay too. Everyone ended up piecing out shortly afterward. After I got home after about an hour, but you needed the help. You absolutely needed it. Hey! Yeah, I'm a dork. I'm dorky and I'm proud. Alright. Actually, one other thing that I want to do with this channel, because Twitch makes it a lot easier to do this than YouTube, is I need to look into it a little bit, but what I want to do is I want to do some leather giveaway type stuff. And also, Niz or anyone else that ends up popping in, I am migrating over from YouTube. I'm going to be over here at Twitch primarily, and anything that you worry that you might have missed during the stream, this is actually being recorded in the background, so YouTube is also going to be having this stuff uploaded. Or sorry, this is going to be uploaded onto YouTube also, and there we go. You can see the stream. You can play it back on YouTube, or for anyone else that finds me, if you want to see my older stuff here from Twitch or from when I was doing YouTube more, you can see all that. Much better. All right. We're gonna hope that the camera can focus on that. Yeah. So you can see how the edge. I need to figure out a way to make it so that that'll focus better. But you can see how on the edge here, how it was, like it's way more rough. You can see like areas where, you can see if it'll focus on. You can see if it'll focus on this, and then that way you can have something to focus on, but you can see where like this is super rough. There's lighter marks that are all along this. This was the side that has not been slicked yet, and this side is. Got a nice, dark, crisp, shiny edge all throughout. So now we get to do that again on the other side. And 1 second. Want some coffee. So, it's glorious. Niz, just so that you know what this is about. This is to make sure that I can still honor the so I can still honor like the nature of like me like essentially like keeping my face hidden on stream, because people who visit me in person at conventions or at any meets, which I need to get out and do again, it's kind of like a bonus or perk that I have. You know, if they find me, you know, I can interact with them. I'm not in a suit or anything. But additionally, it makes it so that because most people will recognize me in suit, and people won't really have seen my face except for those at Motor City FurCon when I'm performing on stage or at a panel and I don't have anything on. I can actually go around and I can enjoy the con a little bit myself. I can go to the dealer's den, I can visit my friends as well, and kind of still somewhat retain the con going experience, as it were. Yes. I was just seeing the comments that you put in there real quick. And one thing that I'm also going to have for us as well, and I don't think you were in the chat for it, but my friend is actually swung by. They dropped something. They dropped a purse or two off that they own. The purses are starting to fall apart a bit. There's a buckle that's broken. There's a strap that's broken on another. Something to do with the straps. So what we're going to do is we're going to essentially kind of preview that a little bit. That project. What will be for next week. Because if this goes well, this will be done soon. I've got one other small thing that I want to get done, kind of for myself. It's something that I forgot was messed up and in need of repair. And it's a stitching project, but it shouldn't take too long. It's a very simple item that needs to get repaired. But the stitching is falling apart on that, so I need to fix it. So far, so good. Making really good progress on the slicking of the belt right now. And this is also why I gave you guys that close-up cam. Because there's several instances in the leather making process where honestly you just need to get a close eye on some things. And also, Niz, since you are in there, let me know how the audio is for the music and for the microphone. Still kind of tweaking positions of the setup and everything to know whether it's a good setup, good position, good volume, good audio control, and all that. So if you could, that would be majestic. I think I got it pretty good, but I never want to assume. Whoop. A bit more. Beautiful. Get somewhere. Corners are always extremely difficult, or small segments like that, because it's hard to build up the heat. Sorry about that. So all I'm doing real quick is I've got my fingers on one and palm on the other. I'm just feeling the edges to see if I need to touch up on any of it. I think we're doing pretty good. Want to do a quick run off at the very end, because this is the side that's going to get abused the most, because this is the segment where the belt buckle obviously is engaging. Good, excellent. Thank you for clarifying the stuff on the audio levels. Alright. Yeah, we're doing good there. You know what? I want to grab one thing real quick. I'm going to grab the tool and then grab the items my friend dropped off. So I will be right back. Let's see.
Mic on, mic off.
And while I've still actually got the camera off, I'm gonna do one more thing. Enjoy some coffee for one part, but
Mic on, mic off.
what I'm also going to well, Jerry's hit me really good. Jesus. All right. All right. Let's try this again. So I ended up getting a tool. This was the Dremel I was talking about. I want to give it a shot on the belt, at least on a small segment. So there's probably going to be some whining noises that you'll hear. Hopefully not for too long, because I'm only planning on doing a small segment. But yeah. what I was doing is I was sizing up the slicker wheel onto the actual belt. So glad that I installed this yesterday. Yeah, you guys are gonna pick up some of the noise. Sorry. Gonna put a bit more of the chemical on. Pump up the speed. Gonna bump it up more. You're gonna get a lot of whining. Son of a bitch. I actually think that came out better. Damn it. Well, get to go through this process again. It's been years since I've done leather working, so it was from memory that the hand slicker one was better. Apparently not. Apparently I went too ham. Because that pass made it worse. Yeah, because here's the side that I did the first time on that. Here's the side that I just did previously, and it is not as good. What did I do different? Jeez. To my knowledge, I didn't do anything different. Sorry, I accidentally bumped that. I wonder. Okay, that came out better. So what I think it might have been is that it might have been a directional base. Or, way freaking stupider, wasn't keeping it on there long enough. this looks just really cloudy. I'll touch up the same area real quick with the hand method. Keep bumping that damn camera. Yeah, I was making it cloudy. So it actually cleaned up a bit when I went back to the wood slicker with the hand. Keep bumping the damn camera. Because apparently it's right where I want to be. This also might be the table shaking off too. Yeah. Hand slicking it is still. Granted, there's going to be smaller things like this that I'll need to use it for just because there's no way in hell I'll ever be able to get this with my hand. All this is that this is the belt. This is the actual belt keeper. Now I'm just gonna hit the other side. Ah. If I actually. Alright. That's all set. Now that can bring you up a bit. Belt keeper is on. Belt is on. And that is one reconditioned belt. Lovely. So now I have this ready for me, because this is the everyday belt that I wear. But for now, you will go around here. Looking all fancy with your little belt. Alright. So, I talked before about my friend dropping off some stuff. Camera right in line of sight. Talked before about my friend dropping off some stuff. These apparently were the two bags. So we got 1 and 2. This looks like looking like we got a tear in the belt right there. It's all stitched over. And Ah. Here's the issue. I think what I'm gonna do for this, don't know if I'm gonna outright replace this or not, but I think what I'll do is I'll actually probably do some stitch reinforcement here. I'll probably just go over side to side on this, just so that it will, oops, sorry. For this, what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to go ahead and use just hand stitch. Just go like 1, 2, 3, possibly 4. Go through these holes, possibly just do a 2-punch right here, and then just do stitching reinforcement there so that this won't unfurl anymore. I'll run that by her, see if that is enough, if that'll work, because this is like, obviously this is cheaper leather, but running to try to salvage this and try to keep this close to original. But doing that is feasible. What I'll do though is keep things together. Yeah, the link here actually is really starting to separate, just because freaking cheap store metal mass production stuff. There's a couple of things I picked up actually from my ex-girlfriend, because she did chainmail work. So I got familiar with watching her do it thousands of times, how to close the rings. And the ones at the end, because they're taking the brunt of the force for the weight that you're carrying, literally, in the bag. Those are going to be the things that start to fall apart and separate. So we will... we'll go ahead. We'll reclose those. Yep, so those are good. Oop, almost missed one. There we go. Just got that addressed. Alright. Take a look at you in a second. I need to have personal information stuff on camera. Luckily it was just only one bag. She says she hasn't been using this in a while. So there shouldn't really be anything in there. Nothing. Some sort of dye. It looks like still paint buildup. Okay, yeah, that's just gonna come right off. That's just like, it looks like toothpaste. Now the question being, how am I going to fix this? I think I know how I'm going to do it. And this will be next. Yeah, I know I'm good to do it. And I'm actually pretty okay with it. This will be next week's project. So here's what I'm going to do. Give me a second. I need to grab a couple of supplies so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And then also, I have my stool here too, so I can actually sit as well. Still need to figure out my spacing underneath here. That'll happen with more organization of the bench. But the more important thing. So this is deer tan. This is deer tan cowhide. Now this is actual cowhide that's been thrown through a tumbling and drying process, and then it gets milled down to, you know, like a typical deer tan leather, you know, hence being thinner. Because cowhide leather can actually be super thick or super thin. Hence why they call it deer tan cowhide. At least that's the explanation I was told. But this being actual leather, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut strips out. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Looking about a 1/2 inch. Oops, sorry. This is also why I really like this table, because it's got the measuring thing on there, so I can literally just have a ruler on me at all times. So it's about 1/2 inch. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, I think that'll look cool. I think that'll fit the theme. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut 2 small strips, 1/2 inch, out of this. That I'm gonna trim to size, but that's effectively gonna get looped over. That's gonna be the new loop for the D-ring that's sitting in here. That's gonna go inside there. This, what I'm gonna do is, when I originally put it in through here, I'm gonna have to do it by hand, which is gonna suck, but it's really gonna be the only way that I can ensure any sort of stability out of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this into back close to where it's going to be, because they actually put this between the fabric and the leather itself. So I'm not getting back into there, and I don't want to fuck with the stitching that's already in there. So when I go ahead and I cut these out, this stitching is going to be weak. So this is actually going to get stitched on the outside, but I'm going to still go through the holes in here, so it kind of fixes the stitching that's in here, and then it pretty much brings this back up to some level of strength. And then this will also be attached to it. Additionally, the other thing that I'm going to do is, once that's in there, I don't want it to strictly rely on the stitching for the weight of this thing. That's how we got to freaking this point of the purse too, with this one being ripped out. So once that's stitched in place with the D-ring on there, I'm gonna find it on the other side. This will actually get a 1/2 circle punch out of it, so it's got a nice rounded finish. But this is actually then going to be riveted through all of this, so you'll have one silver or chrome tab actually from this showing on the outside, which isn't really too far out of you know, the style of the bag. You know, you got some chrome pieces there. You got that. You can still see the little loop tags there, the shoulder strap tabs. So it does work. So that's what I'm gonna do with this. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this together so I can remember that's what I want to do. Now, camera's going off for a bit. I want some coffee. Obviously, I'm still gonna talk to you guys. Ah. All right. Now, this one. Something was up with this. Ha! Same thing. Nearly. Oh, it's that cheap fabric leather. This, though, I feel could be a lot less troublesome to repair. It's not going to be nearly as complex. So let's see. Stitching on this is all looking okay. This is that dumbass fabric leather. And what they're doing is they're using this like double over focus. Yeah. So they're using this like dumb double over thing with the stitching there. It works, but it sucks at the same time in my opinion. But the belt itself is actually in decent shape. And I don't have to worry about any repairing on this because what they do is that they use this type of loop on there. It's essentially friction based. So you don't have any holes that is actually going to ever like rip or tear on this. So in terms of this, and it gives you more options for changing position. This is actually a lot better, more durable, in my opinion. But that's not what the focus is right now. Focus is on what's wrong with the bag, which we already spotted. We just need to actually look into it and see what the hell's going on. So, set that off to the side. Yep. And they tried to give the appearance of slicking on there, but what they use is they use an edge paint, so you can actually see if you look really close and if the camera will focus. Hopefully, you can see you saw it for possibly a hot second there. The split. Come on. Yep. It was over here for a second. That's the side. This is the side that's actually the worst offender of it. What they use is they use an edge paint to go ahead and keep that together. I'll have to research and see how or if it can be salvaged of some type. I have an idea of what I could do to possibly make that better, but that is not her main focus. Her main focus, obviously, is the shoulder strap hole here. The reason why I said this is actually easier, and this is actually falling apart enough where, quite honestly, I'm just going to set that there. So, D-ring, that is going, not in the bag, because that's going to, yeah, not in the bag. That's going to be a disaster. I'll actually do this on both sides, because it's a disaster waiting to happen. There's no salvaging this, obviously, which is fine. But I'm gonna go and I'm gonna bust the stitching on this. This is gonna come off. And to make things uniform, I'm gonna do the same shit over here. Because otherwise you'll be asymmetrical. Shit's not gonna look good or look right. So we're gonna get ahead of the game on that one. But because there's already pre-existing stitch holes in there, obviously you can see it on the inside. Hopefully.
You can see it on the inside and they're on the outside. It kind of gives you something to work on. But just like the other one, I want to make sure that this is not going to go ahead and run into any issues. Oh, Niz. I saw the comments in there. WRT, okay, I'm not familiar with that. WRT right now, whatever, I don't know. TU and leatherworking, I mean, I enjoy doing this. Things, the comments like that, I mean, I'm opening myself up to people to be able to make those jokes. Just because now that it's easy for you guys to interact with things. It's gonna be, so, something that just came to mind. It's gonna be something I'm gonna run across. That's weird, but okay. Weird flex, but okay. One of the things that I'm going to do as well with this, I'm going to run it by her and see if it's something she's okay with. But I want to get matching, like, gold-ish hardware here, and I want to throw a rivet here and here as additional reinforcement, because again, it's begging for to be damaged. It's begging for it, because it's running into the same issue as these side ones. But anyways, back when I bust these off, I'm gonna stitch them onto the leather here, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw a rivet on it, and then what I think what I'm gonna do material wise, that was me clicking my tongue. I think what I'm going to do material-wise, let me take a look. Not that's bothering me enough. Where is? There it is. No, not liking that. I'm gonna have to get some of my. I'm gonna have to do some digging. I have to find my tester sample pieces. I don't know if I have them or not. Oh, with regards to, saw the comment, Nez. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do. Give me a second. I have to get up. Wonder if I have any scraps. Ooh! Ooh, maybe. Maybe? Maybe. Okay, maybe not. Ugh. I'm getting too old for this. Obviously, I'm off cam right now, and even if the cam was on, I'd still be off cam. Okay, that was that. Holy shit. There's a lot of stuff I got over in storage there. Maybe. Some scrap leather that I have. It's like a finished garment leather, but... Oh god, no, that looks like trash. No, we're not doing that. I thought I had more rows for this. Probably? Likely? Yeah, I'm not gonna screw with that. Come on. Oh hey, there's a ton of stuff and materials that I forgot that I had. Oh hey, there's some of the other template that I had. Jeez, there's so much I still need to sort out. Good lord. Oh hey, that's in there. Totally forgot you existed. I also kind of was wondering where you were at. That's not terrible. Okay, that's that. Yeah, a lot of stuff in here that I totally forgot about. Looks like I get to do some more sorting on camera. A lot more sorting. Yeah, a lot more sorting. Did find some other tools that I forgot that I had. Some other punches. Like that. Oh, I'm so bloody confused right now. Why in the hell can't I not see that or find it? Damn it. I've got a bunch of small bins of scrap leather that I got from previous projects. Because a good general rule of thumb is that even though you aren't using it now, or it's not enough of a project you're using now, doesn't mean you can't use it later on. Not to say you have to freaking hoard everything. When it comes to leathercraft, leather. Oh, that works. Oh, that'd be so much better. Way more consistent with everything else for the project. Oh, that works so much better. Yep. I think we found a winner. All right, I can go bump off. All right. So, now that I'm back, I've got a ton of dyes that I can use. Mask is going on so I can put the overview cam on. All right. Yeah, underneath this table, I've got a ton of storage. I was having to funnel through all of that. And trying to find some leather that I could use that's scrap. Like I've got a bin right here that this is nothing but scrap leather. And I've got another one of these down here, and I've got another like bin and a half worth over there. You know, they're big enough that I can use for something. I just can't use them right now, or not ready yet. Like this is something that I got that was off of another project. Well, that's big enough that I could use for something. I just don't have the project yet for that to be used. Now, there's a ton of stuff that I have in here. Yeah, bunch of leather scraps. You know, they're big enough that I could use for like bag repair like this. Like what I got right here. Just yeah, like this, you would think like, no, like this is trash, like this thing's tiny. Like, it's only, it's about a little over an inch. But that 1 inch there's a segment that I can get out of it that I can use for, you know, like say a bag repair. You know, so it's like, there's a lot of value that you could get out of even the smallest bits of leather. But all of that to come around and essentially say, I've got a ton of scrap pieces out and around, you know, that I could use for something. Just the timing has not come out yet, presented itself with people and projects yet that I could use something. Like this is actually really thin leather that actually could, if I wanted to, be used for that. But I want to make sure it lasts longer, but so this is too thin for what my intentions are. So, not going to do that. But put all of that aside. So, what I want to do... There it is. Yep, that's what's in there.
So this here is actually a thicker leather than what was on the other one. There's actually a tool that I have that I can check, but my eyes, just after having done it so many times, I can usually get a good idea off of my line of sight, or actually just off of sight. So this is actually a thickness gauge to know how thick leather is, and that's all actually based off of how heavy it is. And if I remember correctly, it's based on a square foot, and you put that on a gauge, and it's however many ounces it is, whether it's a 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 7 ounce, up to I think as high as 16 on some. But what this is that you go ahead and you put the leather in there, and then wherever it stops is the gauge that it's at. And obviously you don't want to force it, but on this one we're looking like a 3.5 ounce leather, because you can see on here that it's stopping after the mark of 3. Yeah, so ounces is the bottom row, top one is a millimeter. So this is like about a 1.5, about a 1.3 millimeter piece of leather, and this is a 3.5 to 4 ounce leather, because there's going to be some natural variations in the leather itself. So it's like checking periodically. It's consistently stopping at around 4. Yeah, about 3.5 ounce leather. So this will actually be perfect. It's not going to be so tough that it's going to be impossible for me to stitch through, but this is going to be heavy duty enough that for being used for shoulder straps here, for replacement of those loops, it'll be perfect. So this is what I'm going to use for that. I'm going to restitch it, and then I'll throw some rivets through that again, just like the other bag, and then that will fix that one. So I'm going to keep all this together. So that is going to be next week's project. It is 1:22, and I'm going to double check real quick to see if Alkali and Zanny are actually going to be streaming. Sorry. Yes, Alkali, Zanny. Seeing if they are going to be running today. Because if not, 100%. Keep going. And if anyone in the chat can tell me otherwise, because I hate this schedule. They have it marked for today? Is that 10? Yeah, they have it marked for today, but I'm not 100%, in all honesty. Because I know they said that they were going somewhere, and I don't think they said they're doing anything. We'll see if they say anything. I'm still gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep going for now, just because I see it's 12:24. Yeah, I thought the same thing, Niz, but I wasn't 100%. Their Twitch information still says that they're streaming today, but if they're not, and I'll just keep going. Because there's still another project I can do. I need to grab that other project that I can do, so give me 1 second. What sucks is that I went ahead. Hey! It worked! All right. There we go. So, this is a business card holder that I use. I've used it for business cards. It's actually the same size as a business card, which is the same size as a credit card. So what's nice about this is that did a modification. This was not originally on there. This is actually just a regular ass belt loop slide that I put on here. So what was super awesome about this is that if I didn't want to have things in my pocket, or if I was out somewhere where they're like no bags, you can't be carrying stuff in here for some dumbass reason, I could go ahead and I could take all the stuff out of my wallet. I could throw it in here, and I'm still good to go. I could still go ahead and have my stuff on me if I need to. What I use for it now is I use it to hold a charging cable, a couple of my business cards from TheWolf YouTube channel. It's got Instagram, Twitter. I should probably update that so it also has Twitch on there too. But I usually keep those in there too. But obviously, as you saw, stitching is starting to come out right there. So I want to go ahead and I want to fix this up. This is actually going to be a really, really, really easy fix. It's going to be a real quick one because where it's falling apart is right here. I don't need to take anything apart to actually get to it to make it easier. All I need to do is I just need to bust the stitching enough, I need to refuse and retie the ends so that it doesn't go further past here. And then I just need to restitch that segment, and then we're good there. So that's all set. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And I'm gonna bring you guys in closer. Sorry. Slowly getting used to this. Yeah. That's what I need. So, here's why I did that, is because now I have two ends. If I get that out of the way, I have two ends that actually I can use to go and retie and then retie and refuse. So I'm gonna bust them out that way as well. And go on that side. Yes, Alkali and Zanny are not going to be streaming today, so I'm going to go long. So anyone that's watching, if you are liking what you're seeing so far, please share this on Twitter, share it with friends. Love to have the people in company. Sorry, just doing some troubleshooting on what I want to do and how I'm going to do it. Whoop. That's the side I want. Yeah. I'll do that. I needed to make sure I gave myself enough to work with. And get it back off the hair. So Niz, since you weren't here before, what I'm doing right now is I'm running beeswax over the threads. The reason why I'm doing that is so I can easily manipulate it, but then it also gives something for the thread itself to fuse and seal with. It's not going to be super tight, pretty, whatever, but it's what is needed. Yes, I just did that with the mask on. Jesus Christ, oh my God. Yep. Bring the camera out. Actually, I'm gonna probably bring the camera way out. Because I'm gonna be using the stitching horse. Yeah, you get to see me in my yoga pants. 'Cause that shit's comfy. Fight me. Yep. I have not had any notification on my end for Twitch that Alkali and Zanny are streaming, so we're going long today. Glorious bean juice. Alright, I need to stand up for this so I can see a bit better. Yep. Whoops, sorry guys. I'm gonna do another camera adjustment. I will say that is why I really love this rig. Ah. I gotta bring that out more. Keeps getting in the way. Sorry, guys. Again, the dang camera. So far, though, at least in terms of camera stuff, the one that I got actually used for the wide shot is actually really nice. Nice enough, actually. I might drop the additional money to get another one of those, and then mount that onto the camera rig that I got, so I can actually have this further away, but you guys can still see because I can zoom in. Yeah. Fucking excellent. Now, there's one thing that I'm gonna do on this one that I didn't do back when I originally started leather crafting, and that is make an additional stitch hole here that I can go through. Now the reason for that is because rather than this flap over here, rather than the flap being on the flap on here just being completely loose, I did see your question is bit, just give me 1 second. Rather than the flap on here just kind of being loose like that, I'm actually going to go over and back so that this corner actually is getting reinforced. Nisbet's asking, when did you figure out you liked leatherworking? So this is something that I've actually gotten asked by parents as well. And it's something that this is probably the best answer that I can give, because when I only think about it in the scope of like when it just kind of quote unquote suddenly appeared in my life, it kind of was just that. It just kind of suddenly appeared. But when I look about, you know, the greater context of life, you know, and what I did leading, you know, in my life, leading me up to where I was, when I think probably the earliest sign that I knew that I was, that there was some inkling in me that I liked leather crafting was probably back when I used to be in the scouting program. Because when I was in the scouting program, they had a badge for leatherwork, and I think it's buried somewhere, but I actually think I still have the original like leather patch that I made from way back then. And I didn't know what I was doing, you know, I didn't know the intricacies or understand that, like, you know, it takes a finer hand to do that so you can get your stamping right and do all this other stuff. I didn't realize it back then. I did it, and I still kind of remember the feeling that when I went ahead and I did that piece, like there was just such pride that I had in having made something, you know. I made something and did something with my own two hands. And I guess kind of having something to show for it. Actually, we're almost done with this piece too, so kind of having something to show for it. And I think I still have it, but either I have it or it's sitting in my parents' place in Illinois. But after I did that, you know, fell to the wayside. And then the only reason why I rediscovered it, and that's what I say, is a rediscovering it, was because when the pandemic hit, or sorry, no, it wasn't when the pandemic hit. There was an old job that I was working at, even back when I was still like just starting to get into the furry fandom. There was a job that I was working at for an automotive company, and that job beat the living tar out of my mental state, to the point that, like, on paper they said, oh, you know, we're letting you go, and, you know, they were firing me, despite the fact that I had, you know, evidence that essentially proved otherwise. But the thing is that I wasn't fighting it, because at that point I'd been in the job for 2.5 years. I freaking hated it. Give me a second. Do need to somewhat focus on. There we go. Very nice. We did the fix. But back with that automotive company that I was working for, when they let me go, I wasn't gonna fight it. I was trying to get out. This was essentially just expediting the process. So I just went ahead and I was collecting unemployment, and while I was looking for another job, I was getting stir crazy. I wanted to do something. So my ex went ahead and her previous partner used to do leatherworking, and like they like attempted a business venture together, fell through. But when they separated, he left all the leather stuff behind. So I was just like, hey, like, can I give it a whirl? She obviously wasn't going to do anything with it. She did chainmail work. She said, yeah, go for it. Give it a shot. Cracked the stuff out, started putzing around with it, learning, and found out that I really, really enjoyed it. And I've been doing it since. And that was back in 2017, 2018? Something like that. That's how I've been doing it since, but then I had to fall out of it a bit because pandemic happened. There wasn't really anyone that was going to be commissioning work from me because, quite frankly, no one had the money. I had all the time in the world, but no one had the money to spend for it. So that wasn't going to go anywhere. So I had to shelve it for several years because the job that I had after that was making me work 70 hours plus a week. And I was also working at a gym on my off days to make sure that not only I could keep bills, but try to save up some money, and also afford what I needed to do to make sure that I could do what I needed to for my transition. So it was something that had to get shelved for about 2.5 to 3 years. No, I did not tell them that. But quite frankly, that is not something that they needed to know, nor did I care, nor did I really want to worry about telling them that. At that point, I just kind of played the game, played along, and shut my mouth.
actually, that is something else that we can do real quick. I remember that. So, something else that we could do, actually, as a part of the bag repair process, because I still got a little bit of time with you guys, I actually need to go about figuring a system out for this as well. So for dyeing leather, there's quote-unquote a process that needs to be followed. I say that very, very loosely. Because one of the things I'm realizing is that I don't have a thing of cardboard. So give me a second, I'll be right back. I need to get that, because I need to protect the material underneath. Good old Amazon. We'll send you your packages right away. And we'll do it in the biggest frickin' box possible. Or at least nearly. Split this open. Whoop! Yes. Good. Good, Anakin, good. Do it. All right. All right. So, yeah, I want to make sure I'm not actually going to be dyeing my measured, my grid, my working board grid. So, I always have cardboard underneath it, but to top it off, I always use these, I think they're wool? Yes, wool. I use these wool daubers, that's what they're called. Daubers. I use these wool daubers because I tried using the sponge brushes, I tried using like paint brushes, I tried using like paper towels or terry cloths. I tried using those things, but they're really inconsistent on their distribution of dye. But these wool daubers, though, woo, these are night and day difference. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to see what of any of my dyes gets close to this. Damn, that was a wild guess. And things get darker the more that you dye them. You want to make sure you give it time to actually soak into it. Because you can see those darker spots are actually like starting to actually disappear as it gets absorbed. Damn. That is a close copy. Obviously not the only one that I got though. So, I'm gonna set that there. Because that is only a small portion of what I own. Which is both cool and terrifying all at the same time. Because I have 3 of these boxes. The one dye that I had in there is of a lower quality.
in the respect of that it's like the economy, it's the economy brand, it's the store brand, or sorry, it's not store brand, but it's not like the pro grade type of dyes. Yeah. Here's the good shit. Oh, were you not sealed all the way? Oh wait, maybe? No, you're fine. Yeah, I think we're fine. I think. I hope. Ooh. Yeah, I am going to... I'm going to have to wash these off. And that is going to suck. But that is done. I can't remember the price on these. These are expensive as hell. But my god, is the color quality on them way better. The biggest tell that I had on that was when I was struggling to use and find a black that would actually, when dyeing cowhide, was actually black when it was done. I had so many problems. That's definitely not going to be a one. This... No. Yeah, a lot. That's a maybe. Probably not. That's a maybe. Also no. Yeah, you could see that they busted or leaked or something. And my own lesson here, always wear gloves. You're working with leather, because leather dye is made for leather. Leather is cow skin, and skin is skin. It doesn't give a shit who you are. So if you get dye on you, guess what? That dye is going to stay a while. Ha ha! Thought I had the samples. Or I had some. Well, some of them were still intact. That one got caked on, so that one's gonna be toast. Some of these we're just gonna have to try. And just because I'm looking at time, I might have to... That's a maybe. Might have to do the tanning. Yep. Might have to do some of the, yeah, there's the black. Which one is this? Yeah. There's two of these that I think are high possibilities. Oh, you were just like... And the scope at the dye that I'm going to be using, that's like a borderline black. You're not using that. Yeah, not using that. Still not a bad color, just not what we're looking for. Of course, here I am saying about use gloves, and I'm still not using gloves. Such a terrible example. Oh, that's like a perfect fucking match. Oh, that's excellent. Nearly a perfect match on a single coat. Whoops. Honestly, this might be the right one. It's freaking excellent. And this actually goes to function as another great example of why we keep scraps. Because before you go to your good piece, you test out on a scrap piece. Okay, I actually really want to figure out this dye situation real quick on stream, so I might go even longer than expected. That's a really good match, too. Yeah. I think we got our winner. It looks like Spanish brown. Currently, it's either Spanish brown or mahogany. You guys heard nothing. Here's light brown. Light brown's damn close too. This manufacturer is called Phoebings, and their dye quality and consistency is amazing. Super expensive, but amazing dye. Amazing dye. It takes really well. But because they focus on, I guess, like more traditional leather aesthetics, they have a ton of different browns. Saddle tan. I actually think Saddle Tan's the real winner. Son of a bitch. Yes, I do, Niz. Sorry, I was so caught up in the die stuff that I 100% wasn't looking at the chat for a second. Our winner is Saddletown. We have a winner. Very nice. So we got our winner for the die. Lovely. Yep. So we got our winner for the die. Know what we're doing for that. This, I'll set. Whoop. Just barely tap me. Set that up there to go with the bag, so we know what we're using. I have to go carefully figure out what and how I'm going to do with any and all of this. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be this week's in-between stream task of cleaning those out. But did get a fair amount done. Very happy with how productive I was with the day. Next time, the table's not going to look nearly as much of a nightmare. Part of that is because I'm going to have this cleared up. I'm going to have things a little bit more organized. Because I've been doing a lot in between streams. Like, for example, one of the things that I got, and this is me just wrapping up real quick. One of the things that I got, snagged it out of my garage, snagged myself a spotlight. And that way this, I can have, so I can have enough light when working on things up close that I'm not, trying to strain my eyes too much. So that's number one. Number two, this actually works great because of what this is. I actually installed a power strip down here. That's how I was able to plug in the Dremel. That's how, obviously I have this light plugged in currently. So it's actually working out really, really, really well for me right now. So, stay there. I said stay. So, there's a lot of things we did, a lot of things to be done, but got the leather belt done, unpacked a few things, figure out what we're going to be doing with those bags. So, next week, the plan is going to be fix the bags. That I should be able to do on stream without a problem. Then after that, I think where we're sitting at, I think I might have one other project that I can work on. We'll see what happens, but that is what we are going to do. Yes. I'm happy with where we're sitting. So yes, if you enjoyed this stream, please. No, Niz. I've got gloves. They're currently sitting in the garage. If anyone that's watching this, whether it was on the recording archive that's sitting on YouTube or that will be on YouTube, that gets uploaded on Wednesday evenings, or if you are actually joining me live, if you're enjoying this, please by all means, if you want to support me right now, the best way to do that is to continue to share this with friends, share it with the community, share it with family. I love taking these opportunities to share not only something that I actually am passionate about and that I do, but taking the opportunity along with all this, as you've seen throughout the stream here, to be able to go ahead and interact with you guys and teach you guys too. Because Twitch will have the channel points, it'll be something that's very, very easy for me to interact with you guys when we hit affiliate status, which I think is like 50 subscribers in a certain amount of hours. 50 subscribers, comma, and a certain amount of hours of streaming. But I got a couple of things that I need to do off camera regarding the dies here. That's going to be its own nightmare. But thank you all so much for joining me on the stream live. And thank you for joining if you're watching the recording on the archive on YouTube. The information I got is actually right beneath, right here. That's Twitter and YouTube is the same handle. You're obviously seeing this on Twitch, so I'll have to add that here for the YouTube archive as well so people know where to go. But it's going to be twitch.tv/Sigma_TheWolf because someone's already gotten the version of it without the underscore, I think. That, or I couldn't change it because I didn't remember the password. Because they want you to verify your identity before changing it. Oh, that's right, Salt. We want that there because that's going to be the one we use. So yes, we're all set to go. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. And I will see you in the next stream. That'll be next week, 11 a.m. to 12:30, and Alkali and Zanny will actually be streaming that time, so after my stream we can actually raid theirs. So thank you all so much. Have a great day.